Hey, what's up, everyone? It is the Showstopper Gaming back with another WWE 2K24 video. Today, we're going to talk about Universe Mode. And just to get started, I want to let everyone know I am a new channel here. Big WWE fan, been a fan my whole life. Played pretty much every WWE game since PlayStation 2 release and forward. So I wanted to really create this channel, do a lot of wrestling content, and try to build this community of people who just enjoy wrestling, bringing positive vibes, whether that's gaming or just watching in general. So I appreciate everyone who's checking out the videos. If you could, like it, subscribe, comment, all the support is really appreciated. I really want to try to, build this community. I'm going to be doing a ton of WWE 2K24 content, which I will talk about as we go through. So, I know there's a lot of videos out right now with news and gameplay. Unfortunately, I'm new, so I didn't get to play the game early. So what I wanted to do was just do a new video every Friday where I talk about the different modes that we have, and it's going to be more of just a discussion. So I'm going to talk about the things that work with it, some ways that can improve it, and just my overall ideas for the game that could make it better in the future. And maybe we'll see some of the stuff that I talk about in the new in this new game 2K24. So we'll jump in now. I just wanted to kind of let everyone know what these videos are about leading to the release. And then obviously once the game releases, I'll be doing a ton of content actually playing the game in different modes. So today, universe mode is the topic. I feel like it's a big divide among WWE gaming fans. Some people love it, some people hate it. Um, I think it's there, Like I understand why the people that like it do, and I understand why the people that don't like it don't. I think it's a good option to have for players to kind of have that full hand control of the WWE and do all that. I do think there could be some things that make it more streamlined. Obviously, the issues with people showing up in different divisions and some of the cutscenes and some of the match cards that are auto generated. I do think they've been improving that by introducing, different divisions for the titles and stuff like that. And superstar mode, which I, did a few videos on and actually enjoyed. So I do think there's been progress in this mode. But I do think we're seeing sort of like where is it going? What could be some cool things that really take it to the next level. So let's just go with the basics. So what we got is universe mode gives you the power to develop feuds and create something never before seen in WWE. It's a no holds barred sandbox, and it's been enhanced this year with more rivalry actions, brand new cutscenes, and double title matches. So all that's cool. I want to start by touching that I think the last few games that they've done, 2K23 and then this one, has really seen a big improvement for 2K series. And I think now they have all the modes they need um, for people to enjoy the game. I think it's just how do you enhance them and add upon them. So I think universe mode in itself is a really cool concept and there's a lot to do, but I do think it can be overwhelming. So I like that they added the addition of like superstar mode where, okay, I just want to play as a superstar and play through WWE, and now you can do that, right? And you still have actions and stuff. I would like to see that expanded upon. Um, One of the big things for me, setup wise, I think it would be cool to add a draft feature, sort of like in my GM, where you can basically just pick like you can go through and edit the roster of people you want to be included in the universe and not, and then you can have the option to draft, assign people to brand by a draft or to just, auto assign them based on what their brand is and, go in and change it. The reason why I think this could help is I think a big issue is setting up universe mode because it kind of already comes pre-filtered, and with the brands I think that should be an option, right? But what happens is then you have to go and maybe remove people from Raw or remove this brand and add this brand. And sometimes you can get boggled down with setting it up. So I think it would be cool if they added some kind of feature where it's easy to set up. So maybe you create your brands and your shows that you want, and then once you do that, you select the roster, and then you can go into a draft and just draft each person, and maybe you can turn drafting on or off. So maybe the next year you draft again, or just little features like that make it all this maintenance work more fun, right? And also able to make it for content creators where it's a lot cooler to video and simulate a draft and show that than it is to show you, setting up details for your My Universe. So um, I think adding something like that, so like a preset feature where if you just want to jump in and play, or maybe you want to, you like the way you customize it now, you can have that option. But adding in a thing where you just pick your brands in the draft, especially because I think they do like create shows or something like that. So like I think doing that would be really cool and make it easier to kind of start off your faction the way you want, right? Because a big thing too is you wouldn't have to auto assign champions and stuff like that. Literally, I'm talking. You look at the schedule, you assign the brands on the days that you want, you choose the titles for them, and then you draft, do the roster, and then you draft, right? And that's kind of setting up all your stuff in one, but in a more fun way. So that's my first, really only critique with universe mode is the amount of time it takes to set up, stuff like that. Um, Everything that they announced here seems cool. The rivalry actions, I think, the more you add those, the more of those options you have, the more unique it feels, new cutscenes as well. It's just make it a bigger play box, sandbox, as they say. Double title match is cool. I do think, adjustments to the rivalry system and stuff like that. And it's kind of a mode where I feel like there's so much you can do that there's not really a direction for it, which is good and bad at the same time. Um, so what I'm going to be talking a lot about in these videos too is the need to add more multiplayer options to WWE games. I think we're in the prime time for multiplayer gaming online. Most of them, a lot of successful games are strictly multiplayer. There's not a lot of solo options. I think we have the best solo options we've ever had in a wrestling game now. So now I think it's time to start shifting that focus to multiplayer action. And one thing I think Universe could be cool for would be for wrestling leagues and stuff like that. So I saw something similar in Madden. I don't know. I haven't played in a while, and I don't know if they still do it. But it was where you could do like an online franchise mode, and people can join as teams and all that. And you play. I want to say they were played against the CPU, and whoever had the beat the computer better got the win if they were both held by teams and stuff like that. But seeing something like that where basically you can create a universe mode and have other people join you in your universe mode, so an online universe sort of, and obviously, you know, that's probably a big undertaking to do. So you would probably only see maybe one or two people be able to join at first, but eventually, what could be cool, sort of like leagues are ran today, where essentially you have an owner and you have general managers who make the match cards each week, and then people sign up as superstars. If you can somehow create universe mode into this online mode where someone can create it and then other people can join as a superstar or as a GM, and then basically run it as like a league, but it's in the game, that would have tremendous replayability of the game, and I think a cool feature that would make universe mode kind of stand out in the fact where you know just having that on, basically you're creating like an online universe for your specific group of people or whoever you want to join, right? Which is kind of what leagues are now, but it's all done outside of the game, and the game is only used to pretty much play online private matches, So I think that could be a cool shift for universe mode. Other than that, I don't really know where else you can take it. Obviously, I think the superstar mode was a good entry. That would have been a suggestion. And now we have my GM, so that's kind of taken out of that universe, right? So I think right now it's a cool thing for creators to do. I've seen a lot of the universe videos and stuff like that. It's cool to have. I think adding some kind of online function to the game, even if at first that's just one person can join your universe and do matches with you or whatever, um, adds to the life of the mode, right? Because my biggest thing, and I think a lot of wrestling fans, if you played wrestling games long enough, the computer can only be so much of an opponent, right? Like even on the highest difficulty and all that, it's gotten better. The game's gotten way more competitive, but there's still a difference when you're facing a computer versus when you're facing someone online and that competition level, Um, and in games past, wrestling games really stayed away from online because there was so much um, cheating and like faulty move sets and stuff you can spam. And now I think we have an actual competitive game which doesn't see as much of that, and it's more even playing field, and you can put on some really good matches. So I think shifting back to that online mindset and adding more is going to make people more hyped for the game and have them keep playing in all these different modes, because at the moment I see what's kind of falling in is they've added a lot of stuff in this new series, right? My faction, my GM, these are newer modes that they've continued to add on. But at some point, they're going to get to a point where what more can you actually add? And how different is it going to be than just the last game, right? And that's where wrestling games were in for the longest. It was like, okay, it's just a repeat of the last game because it's a yearly release. So I think adding online modes to these modes will just add for more playability, and then it's um, it makes you want to stay up to date because it's a competitive game, so if you can be rewarded for playing online, playing competitively, and in all these different modes and having fun, then you're going to want to buy the next game, even if it's just slight updates, because it's not like you're going to play these modes for a month each and then drop it. You're going to play the game year round because it's competitive, you know. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I think universe mode is fine, like I think it does exactly what you would want it to do. I'm interested to see, what these enhancements do. Does it make for a smoother experience? Do you have less issues as far as that goes? Again, I think in the future, making the setup for your universe more streamlined and adding features like the draft and stuff like that would be a lot of fun. And if there's some way to add online compatibility to it, I definitely think that's a must for the future of the thing. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this video for WWE Universe Mode. I appreciate everyone watching and tuning in. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Universe Mode and what things you want to see or what things you want to change potentially. And as always, I appreciate it, guys. Again, we're building a community here. And I'm going to be putting out so much content. So as always, if you can, like, comment, subscribe, build this community with me. I promise I'm going to, be putting in the work to put content out. I'm very passionate about wrestling, always have been, and I just want to share that with everyone. So, as far as content goes around universe mode, it's not something I'm going to do when the game first jumps out. It's kind of the last mode I might get to. I did do a series on the last game where I was testing out superstar mode. I don't think I'm going to finish that. I might do a live stream this week just running through maybe the rest of the year. But obviously, the new game comes out, we're going to jump. So there's not going to be, I don't think I'm going to do a ton of universe mode content, but who knows? We'll see. We don't know what all is going to entail, so it could change. But as of right now, I don't have a series plan for it just yet. But there will be a lot of other content, my faction, my GM, showcase, all that. So make sure to tune in, and never miss a video. And I appreciate all the support. Until next time, never stop still in the show, and see you.